Hello and welcome to Glimmer of Genius, episode 40. This is a podcast all about Magic the Gathering, bringing you the latest happenings in the MTG community, from news to tournament reports, deck ideas to MTG finance. We are Glimmer of Genius. You can find us on iTunes. We're also on Facebook at Glimmer of Genius. Leave a comment or a question for the show and become part of the conversation. My name's Luke. On the line with me is Simon. How are you doing, Simon?
I'm alright, thanks.
Grant will be along in a bit as well, but today we're going to be talking mainly about Modern and a couple of the new, well, it's only really the one new deck, newish deck, which is the Is It Phoenix deck. Nothing really overly.
I thought you didn't care about Modern anymore.
You're doing me a disservice. I don't know. I care about all forms of constructed Magic except Legacy and Commander. And Brawl, and Pauper, and
that's a lot of formats you don't care about.
Frontier, and Old School.
That's not a format.
That's true. No, I love Modern, and I don't love Modern at the same time. As I've said many times before, I played a little bit today. Actually, I was playing.
Hello.
Oh, Grant, you're right.
Hello. Yep, I ate dinner quite quickly, and I'm now here.
Good stuff.
I like how you were messaging us that you were going to be late, and I'm just you just looking at your plate going, nah, that'll take a bit longer.
Yeah. My timings were off with cooking stuff. So it's
bigger than I thought it was going to be.
15, yeah.
No, there's no worries. I was just saying we're going to have a little chat about Modern, saying that there's not much new in the way of Modern except really the Is It Phoenix stuff. And that's kind of...
Apparently there's a set full of new cards to mix things up a bit.
I know. That would, breathing some sort of life into this stale, horrendous format.
I'm tempted to play Modern again this Friday, just to give it another go, because last time I had a really shit time, but I think I'm getting to the point you are, Luke, to be honest.
It's tough. I was just about to say, I did a little league today, and I was playing Affinity. Experimental Frenzy is the future for Affinity, and... if you're not running Experimental Frenzy, then you should be playing Hardened Scales, or you should be playing a different deck. And yeah, I'm not sure. I think Hardened Scales might just be probably better than regular Affinity, but
yeah, I think so.
If you're not playing Hardened Scales version, then you definitely should be playing Experimental Frenzy in your deck. A lot of decks are playing 2 of. I would advocate going ham with it and running 4.
What's the quickest you can get Experimental Frenzy on the board with them?
You could get it turn 1, I think. So you could get...
Oh.
So basically, I mean, the most broken thing I did in Affinity that I can remember was turn 1 Master of Ethereum, turn 2 Cranial Plating. So...
nice.
That was quite good. So you need a hand of double Mox, Darksteel Citadel.
I could imagine you getting this perfect starting hand, get Experimental Frenzy out straight away, and then just go land. Oh,
yeah. So yeah, you could in theory do it turn 1 if you had all 4 Mox Opals in your opening hand.
Nice.
Yeah. So all 4 Mox Opals, Darksteel Citadel, the Frenzy, and then a 0 mana artifact. So then, yeah, you just burn through. You wouldn't need all 4, actually. You just need 3. So there you go. Yeah, you could do it turn 1. But, I mean, you need that's triple Mox Opal draw. And a 0 artifact as well. So it's not very likely. But, yeah, you can do it. But you don't even need a turn 1. So I played against a blue-white player today and playing blue-white control.
I thought that wasn't a thing in Modern anymore.
Yeah. But people love Jace the Mind Sculptor, so they'll play it.
He's a good card.
Yes.
Oh.
And Terminus is still a thing. I mean,
yeah.
Opt into Terminus, Cryptic Command into Terminus. And obviously just Jacing for Terminus. And just Supreme Verdicts is pretty good. But yeah, I fought through about 3 Wraths just because of Experimental Frenzy. It's literally you just churn through cards. So
super good.
Because the deck only plays 17 lands, so yeah, you might get double lands sometimes. But between Mox Opal and Springleaf Drum, when you're flooding out into these sort of mana producers, you just go, okay, I'll play a Springleaf Drum, play a Mox Opal, play a Mem Knight, and you just keep going.
They're only like $2 still as well. They haven't spiked at all.
No. So yeah, that's my 2 cents, and I think it's really good. So yeah, if you don't want to play hardened scales, there's a little bit. I guess with Experimental Frenzy, you've got a little bit less reliance on synergy because you can just play Frenzy and then you just churn through cards. Whereas at least, well, with hardened scales, you at least need some sort of synergy between some things that you're doing. I mean, most of the deck, to be fair, is still pretty good. And what's the card, the green card that, look at the top 5 cards, I can't remember what it's called. Ancient Stirrings?
Yes.
Ancient Stirrings is pretty good. So yeah, you should probably be playing a deck with Faithless Looting or Ancient Stirrings, or both.
Well, I'm playing Jeskai Restore Balance, so no.
No. Or
as foretold, as a boss of a card.
Yes. Or do something incredibly degenerate if you're not going to play any of those cards.
Yeah, I will. Thanks.
Grant, have you been keeping up with Is It Phoenix? Do you know?
Not really. I know that it's a thing. I've looked at the deck lists and stuff. I haven't actually played it yet, but yeah, it seems pretty damn good.
Yeah. Simon, do you know much about the deck?
No, I'm looking at the list now. I do like the look at the list. Lots of goblins in it.
What?
Am I looking at the wrong list? Oh, I am looking at the wrong list. I'm looking at Mono Red Prism. What deck list did you send me?
Yeah, I got that link as well.
Oh, good. Look, she sent us the wrong link.
You absolute madman.
Let's talk about this deck instead. This is a lot better.
It does look good, actually.
I will send you the correct list. But yeah, talk about Mono Red Prism because that was in the top 16. There was a classic on the Sunday just gone, modern. Yeah, a Mono Red Prism made. I think it was 12th place. I want to say.
Yeah, 12th place.
Yeah.
I don't think we should tell the listeners what deck list we're looking at, just to keep them mysterious and guessing. And we're talking about this amazing deck list, and they'll never know what it is.
Yeah. I was a bit confused when you said goblins at first. I was like, I missed that.
I got really excited. I thought it was going to be a sweet deck we're looking at today.
I did.
Apparently not.
I did have someone cast Krenko Mob War Boss. I don't know if you know what that one is.
Yeah, he's very silly and not really normally seen near modern.
No. So he played a Warren Instigator on turn 2, and I was like, right, game on. This is going to be fun one way or the other. He's playing Ace of Isle Goblins, trying all sorts of craziness. I beat him quite handily, bless him. It wasn't pretty, but I'm guessing like if you have even just a vague amount of Zog Goblins, like because basically I didn't know what it is. It's 3/3 for 4 mana. Tap it, put goblins into play equal to the number of goblins you have.
Hasn't even got haste. What kind of goblin are you?
No, but then, he's a 4-drop, so obviously you played a hasty lord that gives your other goblins haste the turn before. Duh.
It dies to bolt though.
It does fail the bolt test. It fails that test pretty hard. It's quite bad that not only does it fail the bolt test, but it also dies to fatal push.
It does.
So it really isn't a good card. So yeah, that was fun playing against Krenko. But yeah, this Mono Red Prison deck, I don't think it's playing that, is it?
No, it's not got Krenko.
So Simeon Spirit Guide doesn't count as a goblin, Simon, for this Mono Red Prison deck.
It just says 1 red mana. He doesn't say anything else.
I never said he did count as a goblin.
I remember it's Hazaret. I think he's the bigger threat here.
I like that Hazaret's in there.
Yeah,
that's cool. And Chandra Torch Defiance is in there as well. I do hear she sees modern play, but I don't really see many modern decks, so it's hard to see her in there.
As a judge, I'm absolutely terrified that it's got Trinisphere in the sideboard.
Oh god,
we were not trained to deal with this.
No
one plays it, but apparently this does, so I'm terrified.
Why is that so bad?
Do you know what it does?
It says make spells cost 3.
It really is complicated when it comes to like kickers and additional free spells. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and that's all. Yeah.
Also, people forget the fact that it's an untapped clause as well. So if some quarter cases where that thing gets tapped, it doesn't do the thing it's supposed to do.
Icy Manipulator, we're looking at you.
Yeah, you heard it here first. If you need tech for Trinisphere,
sideboard that Trinisphere tap tech.
Yeah, like a obscure. Anyway, so yeah, Chandra Torch Defiance. This is the deck that it goes in, and I think maybe Ponza or some other kind of miserable ramp deck. But yeah, it's not it doesn't see a lot of play really. But
and one of Jaya Ballard as well.
Yeah, I mean between Chandra, Hazaret, and Jay, you do need ways to win that don't involve attacking. So that makes sense. Eidolon of the Great Revel seems like madness to me though.
Not if you look at the CMC of the deck. There's only a few. Like, there's no creatures apart from Eidolon itself that costs enough to deal damage to yourself.
No, it was 3 or less, not 2 or less.
Rabble Master.
Yeah. Oh, I'm thinking. Yeah, I got the 2 and the 3 the wrong way around. So, it works with the Planeswalkers and some of the. Oh no, it doesn't. Just the Planeswalkers and Hazoret. Yeah, that's kind of bad.
Yeah.
I agree, Luke.
Yeah, it just feels bloody cagey, doesn't it? Like play against like a human's opponent, and then they've got their artifact that puts things into play with it, outside, getting around Chalice of the Void. Does Aether Vial cast things?
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. So it does get around Chalice of the Void. Yeah.
Oh, it's got Remunet Runes and Scavenger Grounds in as well.
Yeah.
Going back to standard.
Gemstone Caverns, my boy.
Not so standard.
That looks pretty miserable to play against. Although, having said that, it's got some red cards that at least maybe in some axes try to kill you quickly. So when you're sitting there staring at an ensnaring bridge, actually no, it's just as miserable, because if you're going to die to Eidolon triggers, then you're just gonna not play stuff, are you? So yeah, it's a different kind of misery. It's better than Word Prison if you've seen that one. Sold any bottle cloisters recently, Simon?
Oh, I love Bottle Cloister.
Bottle Cloister, is that on the list? I can't see it.
No, it's not. It hasn't been here. That's another. Basically, it's the latest lantern, but no lanterns. Kind of horrible deck. Oh, there was
Bottle Cloister.
Yeah. Basically, takes all the cards out of your hand when it's not your turn, and yeah, it's weird. It's like a miserable control deck, basically.
You get an extra card draw out of it, which is nice as well.
Yeah. It uses Whir of
Oh, okay, yeah. No, that looks horrible.
Yeah, it uses Whir of Invention to get all the Grafdigger's Cage or Snaring Bridge, that sort of thing, to basically just lock you out with the artifacts like Lantern would do. And yeah, it's really, really soul destroying.
I have one in stock, and I don't remember having many, so I'm guessing I haven't sold any.
No. So yeah, I'm surprised Alistair hasn't asked you for that. It's pretty meme-tastic.
Yeah. It's probably on his want list.
Have you sold any surgical extractions? Because that is one of the big things that's taking a massive price hike at the moment, is surgical extraction in the main deck of these, is it Phoenix decks?
Yeah, we have been selling surgical extractions.
Yeah, that could do with a reprint.
It might come up in Modern Horizon, I don't think so.
No.
Damn fraction mana cards.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, I've got 3 in stock. Maybe I haven't sold any lately. They are pricey, £48.
Really? Jesus, I should have kept mine years ago.
Yeah. There's a guy who visits our store semi-frequently. He's into Modern at the moment, but it took him a while to get there because he didn't want to spend too much money. And he eventually forked out like 30 quid each of the surgicals from me for a couple of them. But now every time he comes to the store, he's like, up to $80, up to $80, woo! Yeah.
Is it nice to see Crackling Drake actually as well in this Is It Phoenix deck? That was something.
Have you sent us the link for that one now?
No, he hasn't yet.
Oh, I haven't.
Okay.
Sorry. Hold on.
we might discuss the deck we're supposed to be discussing.
No, leave it open. Mysterious.
So I've sent the
there we go.
The top 24 or whatever it is, top 16.
So there was three in the top 12 playing Is It Phoenix.
Yeah.
So Is It Phoenix, Is It Phoenix, Azorius Control, Burn, Eldrazi Taxes, Hardened Scales, Taxes again, Azorius Spirits. Okay. It's not too bad.
No. I was
So number 1.
Yeah, just I mean there's not a lot of difference between the 2, 3, 4, whatever decks. They play, the lands are going to be pretty much the same, barring maybe they play, you get people differing on like how many lands you play or what fetches to play, whatever. I think Pyromancer's Ascension might be another thing that some people are playing and other people aren't.
Very nice.
More or less the same sort of thing. Thing in the Ice is pretty stock at this point.
Yeah, I like that card. I'd be tempted to play this deck just because of the Thing in the Ice with some of the other stuff.
Yeah, it's really good.
Loving the main deck Surgical Extraction as well. That's harsh, but I like it.
Yeah.
Normally decks don't have room for that, but this is quite a tight deck, I suppose, in terms of what it's about. And also, it doesn't really matter what spells you're playing, I guess, in a lot of ways.
Exactly. And Is It Phoenix is so strong at the moment that surgical extraction in the main is pretty relevant.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I didn't think of it like that.
Yeah, and obviously the fact it's a free spell as well to get your own Phoenixes back is not nothing.
Well, the Phoenix seems to have gone down in price. That's interesting. It was going up and it got to about 30, and now it's only at about 23, 24 at the moment. That's good.
That's because it's being reprinted in the Challenger decks.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good at least.
That is nice.
Yeah, good.
Only as a one-off, I believe, but yeah, it worked.
Same as Collected Company in that when they first started doing those decks, and that made a big dent in the price. And obviously that was a massive deck at the time, so it's good that they've done that.
Yep, this deck can do some pretty crazy things, and Pyromancer Ascension as well.
Why has it got a snow-covered island? Does it have any interaction with that, or is he just being silly?
No,
Good.
I don't think there is a reason for that.
He's just being silly. Fantastic. Good on him. I like this math.
Yeah. I mean,
whose list are we looking at?
Paul Miller.
The first place one.
The other guy that came second didn't run any snow-covered islands, and obviously that's why he lost.
Yeah, it shows.
Yeah. So Eldrazi Tax says, I'm not sure, but my gut is feeling that this is actually something that's designed to prey upon the Phoenix deck, maybe.
Yeah.
Because obviously they're playing things pretty tight on curve, so just knocking like a non-creature spells cost one more. I mean, obviously they've got bolts and lightning axes and stuff, but that could be a problem for.
There's not too much hate main deck though. Like if it were me, I think I'd run more of the Thalia, the second Thalia, because that stops Phoenix attacking when it comes back. But that's just me.
Oh, that's a good point.
Well, the Displacer does hit it as well, to be fair, but I think Thalia's probably just better. But that's my preference.
Maybe it's just more about the spells. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think with Pyromancer Ascension, that's definitely about the spells.
Yeah.
I think I'd just run more of the other Thalia as well, because it's not like they clash, but obviously for main deck, the little Thalia, that's just solid.
Yeah, Thalia is irritating. Smuggler's Copter, though, in these Eldrazi Taxes deck, which is something I've not seen for a while in Modern, and Declaration in Stone.
Right, what list are we looking at now?
Eldrazi Taxes?
Right.
Oh, yeah, hang on. I was going to go, why are you talking about Thalia?
Yeah, no, I was just making a sort of very sort of blasé kind of comment about, these taxes, they're just kind of speculating. Maybe they're here to kind of prey upon what the Phoenix decks are doing between like their disruption and taxing the mana. And then I just started looking at more into the deck, and I was just shocked to see Smuggler's Copter and Declaration in Stone.
Yeah, it is nice to see Smuggler's Copter in the list, especially since I was looking at the wrong list and had no idea what you're talking about. It's good to see it there.
The more I look at this list, actually, the more I am thinking this is designed to hate on Phoenix, because Declaration in Stone, being able to get more than one Phoenix, that's making sense now. But why they would want that over Path versus
Chef Next Dunes, it's running as well.
Okay, that's next level.
Also, just fun, silly rules thing. If you Cavern of Souls, if you choose Eldrazi, you can't use the second thing to actually cast the Eldrazi with it. You know, Cavern of Souls.
Oh yeah.
So you have to choose the first option. It's still cast if you don't get the counter clause, but I imagine you could probably catch opponents out with that.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, I like that just because you wouldn't have to say what mode you're doing really. Like it's not too bad if you just tap it for mana, but the opponent might assume that it's uncounterable, which is interesting.
Why is it not uncounterable though?
Because you can't choose a colour because it's colourless.
Add one mana of any colour to your mana pool.
So you can't cast Reality Smash or Thought Knot Seal with it using the countering. You could do Displacer because you need white for that.
Why can't you add just any colour mana to it though?
Because colourless isn't a colour.
Yeah, but you don't have to cast colour. Like I said, I'm adding red.
This is assuming that you've only got like planes on the battlefield though. So if you only have planes and Cavern of Souls, you wouldn't be able to cast an uncounterable Reality Smasher, is what Grant's saying.
Why?
Because the second bit is what makes it uncounterable, so you have to use mana from that second ability, but you can't choose colourless for that second option.
But only one of Reality Smasher's mana cost is colourless. The rest is just any colour.
Yeah, that's right.
You could do it without, I guess. Yeah.
So what I could just tap it for red and say, okay, I'm paying one colourless and.
Yeah, that's true. You can't do the colourless portion of it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, got you. Okay. Oh, right, I see. So if you had only planes on the battlefield, okay, got you.
Yeah. I'm overthinking it, but it just was quite funny.
Yeah, someone's going to do that on me because I'm going to miss it big time.
Yeah. I always forget about Cavern of Souls. I remember when I was playing Fairies at F&M, and I was against Eldrazi, the deck, and he had a Cavern of Souls out. And like halfway through the third game, he was like, "Oh, you can't actually counter any of my spells." I was like, "Well, this is the first time you've mentioned that, so the rest have been very much countered at this point." I was just like, "I'm sorry, but yeah, it was awkward." I won that game though, so that was. Yeah, I really shouldn't have done. Moving swiftly on.
We can cut all this. It's fine. Live, you say?
Yeah. Warms my heart to see Burn as well in the 4th place. Burn using all the unoriginal Bernie cards plus Skewer the Critics, but that's about it. So yeah, pretty good. Smash to Smithereens. There's the artifact destruction of choice. I don't know why they don't just go with. It's just pure green-white actually. This one. So, sorry, red-white. So they're not actually splashing green at all. So I'm not sure how much you do or don't want destructive revelry. I guess they obviously didn't worry too much about it.
Depends how much you anticipate your opponent always sideboarding in something against you that can be hit by that, because that's what I always worry about. Going, shall I even put Leyline Sanctities in because the opponent's just going to revelry it?
It's a weird, frustrating kind of back and forth, because like if you don't, like from the Burn point of view, it's like, well, Leyline just wrecks me, and even just boggles, like, you know, Daybreak Coronet. You're just like, well, I just like straight up lose to those cards. So if you don't put them in, it's always like you just have to accept you will lose to those matches. But equally, you could just say, well, I don't want to just lose to those. So I'll put something in the sideboard, but then it might never even come up. And looking at this top 16 here, this tournament, I don't really think he actually lost a lot from not having the destructive revelries. To be fair, there's not really any enchantments here that you really care about. Worship is probably the biggest thing out of the Eldrazi taxes and Blue-White Spirits, I think. 8th place Blue-White Spirits playing Worships. No, they're not even playing Worships in there. Normally you see Worship in that. So yeah, I find it strange though, the numbers back on the, is it Phoenix though? Is that there's only one Snapcaster Mage?
Yeah, that is a bit strange. It's interesting that he values the Crackling Drake over the Snapcaster Mage in that situation.
Isn't that again to go due to Pyromancer Ascension? Because if you Snapcaster a spell, it's exile, isn't it, after you cast it the second time?
That's true. That is true. Okay, yeah. So rather than having the grinding, it's having the more powerful.
You still get the trigger off of it, though, wouldn't you? I know, obviously, it doesn't count for being a copy, but you'd still get a trigger off of it. Say if you had a bolt in the graveyard already.
I meant just getting the.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah, but at least it still triggers off the second bit afterwards.
Yeah. But it's just getting the counters on in the first place, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. You don't need too many, though. That's the thing that always made me think it's by far the best Ascension card.
No, it's only 2 counters.
I know, it's crazy. I think it should be 3, but yeah. Particularly when obviously Storm was big anyway.
Yes. So Dredge is in there as well. Don't think Dredge has really changed very much.
Yeah, there's been nothing really added that's made it different, is there? I mean, like, the only thing I can think of is that that black tutor card, but I don't think they'd want it in the first place.
Oh, what, the Undergrowth one?
Yeah, like that's the only thing I can think of that's actually big with like graveyard interaction, because I can't think of anything in Golgari recently that would be like modern suitable.
Everything.
Really?
Molderholt,
Charnel Troll.
Are they being played yet?
Assassin's Trophy.
Yeah, that is, but I meant like...
No. None of those cards I mentioned are being played above.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But they all should be, just because they're green and black.
Yeah, they are good cards, but good in a different way.
I actually think you'd like the straight, just green-black, good stuff deck, Simon.
I like that list as well, to be fair.
Quite expensive.
The Rock.
Yeah.
Oifs, man. Like, who has that money?
Well, that's it, yeah. But I think that you'd actually enjoy playing that, Simon, because you really got to work out how you're actually going to win.
I've got to find my. Oh no, I hate having to figure out how I win. That's what I lose.
Yeah, but you'll be playing essentially a fair deck against a field of degeneracy, and
well, that doesn't seem good at all. I want to play the most busted deck there is.
I thought your limited mind, as in limited, as in Magic the Gathering format limited. Not that your mental capacity is somewhat hindered, but yeah, I thought your limited brain would appreciate that kind of mental exercise.
I've got a green-black modern deck. Still, I haven't seen it for a while actually. I'm gonna go dust it off, but it's green-black.
It's appropriate. It's gone.
Yeah. It's green-black zombies as well, which I've had for years and years and years. I had to put it on the shelf for a while due to the return of Dredge, but now it's died off a little bit. I might dust it back off again. But it played like what does it play? Lothlith Troll, Grave Crawlers, Pack Rat. I think we've discussed this before, but yeah, that was a true green-black deck. Well, I've had for years and years now. Years and years I've had that deck. I've got to go find it actually.
First stabs I played in had Pack Rat. That was a fun time.
Pack Rat's great. Pack Rat
Oh, Charnel Troll would fit into there.
Yeah.
Get it out.
Oh. It's about somewhere, and I can put some Assassin's trophies in. Yes.
Do it.
Oh, I'm going to have to start playing Modern now.
No, I reckon you'd like it. It's either that or you could play called Ad Nauseam, which there was a 10th place Ad Nauseam deck.
Ugh.
I think you'd thoroughly enjoy that.
No, I don't think so.
I feel bad. You should feel bad.
I feel sick just thinking about it.
Yeah.
What puts you off playing Ad Nauseam the most?
You do.
It's like
Me.
It's like the typical combo deck, and it's just awful. It just feels a bit too Yu-Gi-Oh for my liking.
Heart of the Cards.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'll get this, and then this, and oh my god, this combines with this, and now you're dead by breaking all of the rules.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
No, I get it. It's one of those decks that's quite frustrating to lose against.
Also, I don't like the picture. The picture scares me. I don't like it.
Oh, what, the dead guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Change the picture, then I'll play it.
Judge? Oh, put it away. Put it away. I can't look at it.
When I first saw that card, I thought his hands were stuck in like a pile of papers. Like he was just his hands were just in this big pile of papers. And it was only until like, I don't know, maybe 5 years later, I realised he doesn't have any hands at all.
Ugh.
He's just got the weird paintbrush things.
Little stubs as well.
Yeah.
This is even grosser than I pictured it remembered it in my head.
Yeah.
Go away.
Yeah, and then now I've ever since that revelation, I've just been a little bit sad to look at it. It's just like, oh no, it's even as you say, it's even worse than what I thought it was.
And $10 for the privilege as well.
Yeah, he doesn't look too happy. And before that, I thought he was in a pyramid. I thought there was those little things behind him weren't stacks of papers. I thought it was like sand. So I really
Okay, yeah.
It's just a little tour into how my brain fails to see what's right in front of its face.
Superb.
Yeah.
I miss a lot of the artwork a lot, actually. I've got to admit, I don't really notice it until I every now and again I'll pick up a card and really look at it and go, oh. Or I think it's more often now in Arena, actually, because when you hover over the cards, they zoom up nice and big. It might be my age.
I've got to put glasses on now when I watch the TV.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I got to that years ago.
Yeah, I have to wear glasses all the time now.
I just realised one day, I was like, what? I'm squinting. Why am I squinting at the telly like an idiot?
It's not our fault. We weren't getting older, but the fucking text on computer games are getting smaller and smaller. It's ridiculous.
That's actually a thing. I agree.
That was a thing. Trying to play Dragon Age Inquisition and some other stuff with elders.
Damn teenagers online too.
Some of it was absolute bullshit. To be fair, since wearing my glasses, I don't seem to have that issue anymore. But then I don't play any computer games. I don't really have time to play computer games anymore. Or I play on my laptop where the screen's nice and close.
You can't do the Fortnite dances because it hurts your hip.
I'm too old to play Fortnite.
I tried playing it with a friend the other day. It's actual garbage.
Yeah.
So bad.
I looked at it and I was like, I saw you can. I'm going to sound like so out of touch, but like some people were shooting and then all of a sudden they're like building shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is
why is it Advent, or was another one that came out recently that's got a very similar name to another one that came out recently? But it's like the same thing. So it's a big arena, 100, all the all thing, I think. but you can't build anything, and people are like, oh, why do you want to play this one? It's basically the same. And someone said, oh yeah, well, when someone shoots you, they don't turn into an 8-story building.
Yeah.
Because people were really advantaged by being able to click and like build really quickly, and it's just really weird. So you shoot someone and then just this whole big like fuck off house just appears. Like, come on now.
Oh, they should just be.
That's right. That's called cover.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, it's interesting, I guess. But yeah, it's silly.
It's odd. I guess it's fun. People can have their fun or whatever. Alarm bells were ringing for me when Laura said to me one day, "Have you heard of Fortnite?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I'm aware of it." Just on Stacey Solomon's Instagram, or she was on a TV show or something, and her son was into it, so she started playing it.
Who?
And now Stacey Solomon, she was on the This is exactly it. Some B-list celebrity who was on X Factor briefly, and she's like, "Oh, I'm really addicted to it now," and I was just like, "Yeah, I'm probably not going to play that."
This Instagram you talk of, is that a bit like mine?
I don't know. Something to do with pictures.
I don't do Instagram either.
Young people putting pictures. I downloaded it once. I didn't get it, and I installed it.
Nice.
I am embracing my slow descent into being a grumpy old man.
Back in my day, the internet used to make noises.
Yeah, dial-up noises. It was great.
Yeah. We were happy.
Yeah.
Even if it took us 10 minutes to look at one picture.
That reminds me of that episode of The Simpsons with comic book guy trying to download a picture of Captain Janeway, like a naked picture of her.
Comic book guy,
Yeah.
Internet king. Maybe he can provide a faster nudity.
Okay, I feel like we've well and truly derailed now. So that is all for now from us. Thank you very much for listening, and stay tuned for more.
Talk to you soon.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. I don't know if I told you, but we're on iTunes now. I finally figured out iTunes. So yes, if you're listening on the internet,
on a Macintosh,
I'm on a Macintosh.
Macintosh, and yeah, you can check us out on that. That's fun.
It's just a Mac, but it's my wife and she's Scottish.
Hey. Right, on that bombshell. I think you need to go to bed, Simon.
Oh.